Hey, everybody.
Whoa! Here we are. Before we jump into the story, everybody take a moment, introduce yourselves, let us know where we can find you. Let's start with our GM, Pascal.
Hey everyone, I'm Pascal. I go by he, him. I'll be the GM for this Fate of Cthulhu game. I'm the main designer for Spotless Dice Games. You can find us at spotlessdice.games or Spotless Dice anywhere on social media. Background, I've written 2 Fate of Cthulhu timelines. I just released Ringmaster, and I've been running Fate for about 9 years.
Nice. Abdul.
I'm Abdulaziz. I play Tuck in the TTRPG Spelt Lore, which we've done crossover with the amazing people at the Crit Show. And then we also have a new show called Mallbrats, if you're interested in more in the Spelt Lore universe.
Jesse.
Hi, I am Jessie Sky. I can be found on the Crit Show Discord, as well as hopping in on Kick Some Ass and listening to Fast and Furious with Taz and Rev.
Woo.
Nice. Tass.
I'm Tass. Listen to the Crit Show. Listen to Spout Lore. Listen to our Patreon. Listen to everything Pascal says. And listen to your mom.
Oh, that's sweet. I'm Rev. Whatever. If you haven't listened to the Spout Lore crossover, every day I still get notifications on Instagram that new people are liking that video of you, me, and Sean bullying the audience. So make sure you watch it because it's great. Because I had to do so little work in that. It was amazing. I just sat there and I laughed, and my face hurt most of the time. Sean had to do most of the work.
It was pretty good. It was really fun.
It was fun.
It sort of gave us it was the blueprint for I think how we're always gonna do flashbacks to the Spelt Lore timeline. Is because that 1 year in the middle there where we ended up setting it is like we don't know what happened there. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's. We would just sit here and reminisce about all the amazing things that we've done other places, but let's do amazing things here. Pascal, take it
Awesome.
away.
Awesome. Thank you. So, for people that missed last episode, we created our characters. So, what I'm going to have everyone do before we jump into the thick of things, Waldo will do a little recap, and I'm going to have each of you tell us about your character. Maybe just cover the aspects that define the 5 truths about your character. So, let's start on the top with Abdul.
I am Jesus J.C. Sinclair. The J.C. stands for Jean Chrétien, Canada's prime minister in the 90s. My code name is Wild Goose. My trouble is Reckless. My relationship is that I love Benson so much. You're going to find out who Benson is in a second. My other aspects are that the bonds of man know no bounds. And my corrupted aspect is, despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. And my stunts are the bastard will not escape and land on your feet. And then my corrupted stunt is foul attraction. I'm a kind of an asshole is the thing. This character. Did I cover everything you wanted me to cover?
That's perfect. So we'll go straight down to Benson, the redeeming quality of Jesus.
Yeah, I am Benson. I am a scientist from the future in the body of a dog. I was trying to utilize alien technology to send my consciousness back. Actually, my whole kind of self back. It didn't work. I ended up in this dog. My aspects are basic instinct is my trouble. The fact that I still have canine instincts in me. My relationship is accidental support animal, and that is with Jesse's character. And my other aspect is puppy dog eyes. And then my corrupt aspect is unusual breed because there is a little bit of alien DNA now mixed into this dog. And my stunts are my bark is worse than my bite, which lets me do a kind of psionic attack when I bark at people. The zoomies, which lets me run around enemies and create some advantage for other people trying to attack them. And then the neighbor's dog is back, which lets me get a benefit to stealth and appear non-threatening in a place where you would normally see dogs if they haven't seen me do anything undog-like.
Excellent. And let's go see who it is that you are supporting. So let's go to Jesse.
All right, I will be playing Dr. Cricket Loudon. So I am the cosmic shrink. Essentially, I am the behavioral therapist for time travelers before me. My trouble is that I tend to have some sympathy for the devil, whether that be our team or the enemy team. We'll find out. Relationship wise, what we know what I'm about.
Yeah.
Relationship wise, Cass and I's character have a little bit of a clash. We agree to disagree on some things scientifically. And then my last aspect is to be determined. Oh, and then my corruption. Are we
Yes.
mentioning
Yeah,
those
your
yet?
stunts. Yeah, you can share your stunts. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, great. I've got awakened mind, psychologist, and read you like a book.
Yeah. Fantastic. Awesome. Thanks a lot, Jesse. And then finally, let's go to Cass.
Hello, I'm playing Dr. Monteau. My high concept is that I am an obsessive surgeon of aliens. So I know a lot about their physiology. My trouble is spiteful. I don't have a lot of sympathy for some of the more alien inclined. My relationship is that I'm Jesus' biggest fan. It's starting out that way, and I technically haven't even met him yet, so I think it's going to be one of those just hearts in my eyes kinds of situations.
You're like Coulson with Captain America.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll get there in a second. Yeah.
My other aspect is you don't scare me. I think it's less of like a courage type of thing. He's just never really been in the field, so he doesn't understand what he should be afraid of. And my corrupted aspect is alien skin graft. That with my surgical knowledge, I figured out how to use some of their physiology or technology to implement it in myself. My stunts are go for the jugular, which gets me a little surprise attack. Xenologist, which gives me more information about alien bodies, and doppelganger, where I can shift my appearance to someone whom I have touched.
Excellent. Perfect. Thank you very much. So, with that being said, let's jump right in. Are we ready?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So, things are not looking good for humanity. It is 2027, and the Earth has fallen. Welcome to Fate of Cthulhu, the Ascellan conspiracy. Somehow we've been invaded, and we barely noticed until it was too late. The Vanguard arrived 95 years ago, and slowly they infiltrated us, possessed our minds, changed our bodies, and then they took over the world. By the time they revealed themselves, it was too late. No one knew who was foe, who was friend. No one trusted their leaders. No one trusted their neighbors. And slowly a resistance shaped up, got formed, and got together. But every time they turned around, a cell was taken down because aliens were among them. So we're going to jump right into one of the secret layers of the resistance, where two doctors are concocting a plan to yet again try to send agents to the past. They have stolen technologies from the Ascellans. They have figured out a way with these implants, these biotech implants that they graft into themselves, to be able to project both their minds and their bodies to the past. They've sent agents back before. None of them have returned. They don't know why, they don't know how. Using the alien technology and the alien powers, they're slowly starting to manifest. They've been trying to track down signs in the past that the agents actually made it. There's no signs in them from the relics from 1932. No signs from any relics they've been able to retrieve from 1939. Nothing from 1969. But now they've collected a new basket of relics from 1999. They're getting pretty desperate. And we'll zoom in right to Tass and Jesse as their characters. Dr. Monto and Cricket are opening this basket of goods, trying to figure out what the hell happened to our agents.
Yeah,
Over to you.
I will be cracking this thing open, huddled over it with Cricket.
Excellent.
What in the world do we think we have here?
Certainly more than we've got before.
Yes.
So the reason why the agents brought you this crate. So the mission in 1999 was to go to Edinburgh and to bust out a secret cloning facility. And so the crate they brought back was from a container that was shipped to the city of Montreal in Canada. And strange artifacts were retrieved from there, including a journal with some scribbles that don't look too much 1999, but add some of the symbols of the resistance on it. Some of the secret markers you leave that your agents have been told to leave there for others to find. So that's how other members of the resistance were able to figure out there may be a link. This looks kind of strange. There's a denim jacket covered in blood. And there's a dog collar. Now, Dr. Cricket Loudon, you've started to manifest some strange abilities. And you've been able to get resonance from some items as you touch them to figure out their patterns. Is there anything you'd like to do with these?
Yeah, I think that as I'm going through the box of items, I look at I pull up the jean jacket, I kind of examine it for damage, I lay it back down, pick up the dog collar, and I start getting a little like verklempt because it reminds me of my childhood dog.
Oh.
Because all I have left from my childhood dog is its collar, and so I think I'm overtaken with like this empathetic feeling of wondering like what happened to this dog and did it end up being okay, and just thinking about like my own dog and stuff.
Dr. Monto, as Cricket picks up the collar, you notice something strange, something actually a little bit funny given the situation. The collar says Benson. Like good old Dr. Benson, the pioneer of time travel technology being adapted and stolen from the Ascellan.
I say, Doctor, have you looked at the name on this collar?
It's a really good name.
Oh, that's
Really good dog.
that's awfully sweet. I wonder if, in going back in time to try to fix what happened in 1999, if, well, he made such an impact that they started naming their pets after him.
Like that one dog in that one movie with that one guy.
Yes,
The train station?
yes, precisely.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Well, what else is in the box?
There's you are definitely getting some spatial temporal anomalies from that collar, but from the jacket, you notice some red blood, but you also notice some Tass. What color is the blood of the aliens?
It's like a cerulean blue.
Cerulean blue it is. And some blue stains that to your expert eye as an alien surgeon you automatically recognize as Ascellan blood.
Well, my goodness, this means that, I mean, certainly they put up some kind of a front.
And then there's a journal.
I'll start flipping through it immediately.
All right. Let's see. Why don't you roll me a notice roll, since you've been studying the work of these pioneers. Um, Roll me a notice roll. We're gonna make this a +3 because it's not as much about what you're reading. It's about, do you notice something peculiar about the writing in the journal?
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. That could be worse. I have a 3 in notice, which puts me at a 3.
There we go. So you do notice something peculiar, and that jolts your mind. And I think because of the collar, uh, and having thought about Benson, you're like, this handwriting looks strangely familiar. It actually looks like the writing in Dr. Benson's old notes.
I say, Cricket, look at this. You knew Dr. Benson better than I did. Does this not look familiar?
Well, I suppose so, but all doctors' handwriting looks like chicken scratch.
It is fairly terrible. Mine is as well. I can't help but think that, by God, maybe he survived. He hasn't made it back, clearly, but I think he's done it. I think if we make our way back and collect him, post whatever he might have done in 1999 to get us this crate, we might be able to jump again. Take care of the situation with the general in '69.
That would be astounding news. I am a bit concerned, however, with the bloody jacket.
A jacket. Yes. So we've researched some of this. How free am I to like know some of the movers and shakers of '99, like knowing that we've sent others back to try to collect people and do this stuff?
Yeah. So here's the weird thing: everybody that you sent to Edinburgh in Scotland, because that is where the cloning facilities were known to be. And so you don't understand why all these things would wash up into Montreal. But this was trying to follow the trail. They tried to follow where agents could have fled from after going to Edinburgh, and they looked at shipments traveled from outside, and that was one of the containers that was spotted. So now the question is, with that blood, things are not looking good for what happened to whoever owned that jacket. But if you would want to figure out where and when they went, you need a little bit more. You need to have some information, because to program your implants, you need a date, at the minimum, a date and a location to jump to. So right now, all you have is an entire year, 1999,
Right.
and you have you know that this came from a sea container in Montreal, so you know roughly where in Montreal to go with the port.
Doctor, I hate to ask this because I know how sensitive we are to certain things with the work we've been doing, but do you still see things or understand things when you touch them?
Here's a question out of game. Do we recognize that it is corrupting us? Like, is it something where it's like, we want to kind of use it more and more, and we're trying to stay away from it, or is it something that we are do we have a relationship with that aspect of corruption?
So I think that since since Dr. Monto has grafted these implants to be able to project not only your mind but also your bodies across space and time, strange abilities have been manifesting. You think you're just harnessing the technology from the Ascellans. You don't think. I think at this early stage, you've started manifesting some unusual abilities, but it's not alarming yet. It's more curious, or things that you think that you're leveling the playing field essentially against them. You're like, ha, we can play their own game, splicing DNA. We can do this, and you're pretty desperate. There's only a few of you left, and it seems a small cost right now. You definitely recognize that it's changing your bodies. I don't think you recognize yet that it's also starting to alter your minds.
Ooh.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Um, yes, I am still able. I mean, I don't know how to control it necessarily. It's still very new. I mean, but I can certainly give it a shot.
Just if you think that it's worth it, I think we need to narrow down. I have the very slightest potential to be able to see into the mind of someone that I touch, but it's very difficult. I don't know if just the blood on this jacket would be enough.
Okay. Um, and knowing that, like, since you said I had already kind of felt a higher connection with the dog collar, can I go back and grab that and try my psychometry on that?
So that you can do either the jacket or the collar as you prefer.
Okay, I'll do the collar.
Excellent. And so, since you have the collar with you and you're trying to do this right now, why don't you read us what your stunt does?
Let's see. It says mark corruption to use lore +4 to create an advantage versus fair opposition and glean information from an object you touch regarding its use or prior history.
Perfect. Then go ahead and you can roll against lore +4. So you'll roll 4 fate dice and add your lore score.
All right. Doing this in roll 20.
Yep.
There it goes. That's a 20.
Wow. So this is a legendary result. Oh, sorry. We got, yeah. So that you rolled the stun, so you didn't have to add the score. So that will be a 9 total. With a 9, that gives you a success with style. So I'll give you several things. You get a view from the collar from the dog's perspective, and you see a pretty cool looking guy dressed all in denim with sunglasses. He's got his gun drawn and he's calling out, Benson, get ready. And they're starting to move forward toward a container. As they get there, you can see he's being followed by a squad of CSIS agents, and they're ready to do a bust on this thing. You can hear Benson whispering. Do you talk to your partner, or do you keep that to yourself?
I talk to my partner.
All right. What do you say to him as he's about to approach the container?
Be very careful. I'm not exactly certain what will be inside, but it will be important to the mission.
And then Jesus goes, tell the thing inside to be careful of what's out here.
That's fair.
And there's above us. There's this there's 100 Canada geese circling, squawking so loud. It's so loud.
Almost hard to hear us talk.
I said, tell them that they should be scared of us.
Jesus opens the container, and inside the container, you can see 4 pods that are humming with green light, and inside them, clearly alien bodies.
Fuck.
Well,
Benson, as your partner is in there pointing a gun and looks at it, there's nobody in there, just these dormant bodies. You see the other CSIS agents behind you draw their gun and start firing down on your partner. He's riddled with bullets, and one of them approaches him and goes to check that he's actually dead. We see Benson letting his hypersonic bark ripping the flesh out of that agent, revealing the Ascellan underneath. He explodes and his blood bleeds over the jacket. But this is Benson's last few moments because the other agents turn on him and fire their guns. And you see Benson and Jesus die.
1,000 Canada geese squawk in rage and sadness.
Oh.
And descend upon the agents.
I didn't give any backstory for my character. He can control Canada geese.
It's like someone's playing When Doves Cry in reverse. It's just all of these things flying down.
Welcome to the weird. So don't worry, listeners.
Bro.
Benson and Jesus are not dead yet because we have agents from the future on the case. So Cricket, you see this is pretty powerful emotions as you get those readings. So you know exactly what day and time it was. You were in Benson's mind and you realize this is no dog. That is Dr. Benson. You were in his mind. You could hear his thoughts. You could hear his final moments. And you could see that he's formed this partnership with this man from the past. And you're a bit puzzled because all you could hear him scream in his head as his partner died was Jesus. And Dr. Benson was no religious man. But, you know, what do you know? But thanks to this, you have a time, you have an exact location, and you can program the assets for the jump. And that does gives you what you've created there. You've essentially created 2 free invokes with regards to the dog collar and says, I know where to go. Because you already have corrupted aspects, however, that implies that you've already jumped. So we're not going to make you roll for this first jump. That's going to come in a little bit after your jump. But a couple of realizations comes to you. Benson is alive. And he seemed to know exactly where to go to find those pods. So they were trying to fix the mission. But another thing is clear to you. People are on to Benson. People are hunting him down. And it's very clear why no agents return. There are Ascellans hunting down all your agents in 1999. And I think the 2 of you realize that the Ascellans know you're traveling back in town. That means if they know in the past, they know in the future. And they could be down in your secret lair anytime to bust this down and prevent you from traveling back. What do you do?
I mean, I'll definitely relay all of this to Benson and not Benson, apologies, to Monteau. And as much as I hate to give you any credit, you are a genius. Thank you for making me pick up that dog collar because I saw some things, some very startling things, some very concerning things.
Oh, all right. So with what all that you've seen, we have a chance to get back just before that they were killed. Maybe even turn the tide of that battle so that we can destroy those pods, kill the double agents, and then jump back again to 69. Easy.
And it makes perfect sense because now you figured out if they know you're in 1999, your only chance to get around them is to do something that no one has done before, is to do a double jump. The technology is designed to go only as far as 30 years in the past. And now you're going to try to jump 60 years back in time. What could go wrong?
It's dangerous, but I think we need to try.
Okay. I agree with you. I mean, I don't want to agree with you on this, but I do. But if we end up somehow weirdly spliced into one being, then I like to sleep on my left side.
Oh, yeah. Yes. No, I think if we both use individual implants, there's much less chance of that.
Okay. Okay.
We must go post haste.
Alarm starts blaring in the lair. You're hearing explosions. The Ascellans are here.
Son of a bitch!
Good. That did not take long at all.
We have no
No.
time. We can't save them here. We must go.
Describe to me what it looks like once you hit your implants and you teleport to 1999.
Mm-mm.
And how far ahead of the final moments of Benson and Jesus do you teleport to?
Ooh, I have a thought on that. I don't know what this looks like. Like this is like a kind of, we discussed it sort of being like an implant that we have for just in case kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, because she and I knew we were going to try this eventually, but not necessarily like, oh, we got to go.
Oh.
Whoa, this thing looks wild.
It does.
Ugh. Ugh. Look at that thingy in Wrath of Khan.
Oh,
Don't worry. Dr. Monto convinced you to put that in your neck.
God.
yep.
Oh, I hate you, buddy.
I hate me too. I think I don't know about for cricket, but I definitely think as I'm starting to like charge this thing up, that my skin graft starts to glow too. Like you normally can't really see it. Like it's almost like just darker veins under my skin, but they start to glow, like get bright as this is building up.
They like pulse in rhythm with the thing in your neck.
Yeah. Wom, 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 wom. All right.
All right.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
You jump.
What I am hoping for is to come up about like 2 minutes before they were going to open this up. How many agents did we say there were?
There was 4 agents.
4 agents. I want to just be offset behind the group, and about 2 minutes before, as they're like making their way up, and if I'm not too disoriented from this jump, I just want to snap to and try to sneak up on one of these agents.
Excellent. We see you teleporting, and you appear behind one of the sea container in the old port of Montreal. I think you get there just before their cars start pulling up at the entrance of the port, so you've got a good view. You were wearing your all cotton lab coats. Tell me, what else were you wearing, and was it all organic material, or were you wearing any artificial materials with you?
Oh. Um,
Did you know the effects of teleportation? Because you're 2 doctors. How far have you studied this?
I don't think I
I
know
was
almost anything.
same. I think that my studies have been more on like the behavioral effects and less of like the actual like physical effect it has on people.
Right. So, did you wear a lot of cotton and wool, or did you have any lycra? Did you have any lycra or anything like that you were wearing? Your call. How do you want to appear? Anything non-organic will be gone. You have your lab coats. You're decent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's just lab coat for Monto.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like if Fruit of the Loom taught me anything, at least my underwear is gonna be cotton.
It's true.
Excellent.
And I won't explain why I'm just in a lab coat.
Excellent. You show up behind the containers. You look around, and it is a bit disorienting at first, but you get a chance to get your bearings as you see these car pulling up, and then the first thing you realize, You only have your lab coats, your instruments, your scalpel, your pants. Um, this is all you have on you right now, and you have aliens coming in behind Benson and Jesus in a few minutes. What are you going to do?
Oh, son of a bitch. I'm looking around. If we're behind like a container, I'm just looking for anything loose on the ground, or if like the container is like older, or if there's any bent pieces or anything that I might be able to rip off of it.
I'm so actually, I'll tell you what. There's definitely some broken glass, some broken bottles, and um, probably some sharp metal. You could probably rip off a piece of metal, but that would be noisy.
Sure, I think I'm gonna dive for one of the broken bottles.
All right, so no roll required there. You have a broken bottle. Jesse, what does Cricket do?
I think that my first course of action is going to be hiding myself behind my coat and uh behind a building or something. Uh, um, I think that my shock at being partially naked and displaced um has me a bit kind of so as Monteau is scrambling around, I'm more of like, oh, what are you doing?
Just
That was the pilot episode to Naked and Afraid, partially naked and displaced.
Excellent. So, Jesus Benson, you're on the scene. Jesus Benson has been doing a lot of research. He's been running up your internet bill because it's 1999. You know, internet is not cheap.
Yeah, I can't get any phone calls anymore because it's all fucking dial up. My dog keeps making me keeps trying to sign up for broadband internet. Can't fucking afford that. Benson, we have America Online. It's where America goes to be online. If it's good enough for America, it's good enough for Montreal, the
Oh,
most royal mountain.
maybe that's what I find on the ground is just a broken, discarded AOL disc.
The 90s was just lousy with them.
It really was.
Yeah. So Benson, you pieced together, like, you've been trying to convince your partner to get to Scotland, but not really in his jurisdiction, and he couldn't find out any reason to go there. But you've pieced together that there was strange exports coming out of the facilities. You have tried to track down resistance agents that were supposed to follow, and every time you could find one, they died mysteriously. Whether they were hit by a bus, murdered, just disappeared, or sometimes just completely changed behavior. But you could never get a hold of one long enough to be able to make a full connection. But you gathered enough information to know that there was a strange shipment coming from Edinburgh, and you were pretty sure that the Ascellans were involved. And so you've convinced your partner to do an intercept at the port, and that you've got the sea container number, you've got the exact dock number, and now you're on the scene. Over to you.
All right, so as we move inside, do make sure to keep an eye out. Again, I don't know. This could be some of their equipment. It could be some of their agents. It's hard to know what they're sending out until we get actual eyes on it.
Are there going to be any of those fucking blue bloods there? He takes a sip of Tim Hortons coffee. And
Well,
blue bloods is an expletive to refer to the aliens that he came up with, and he's really proud of it.
yes, if I would imagine there'll be possibly a few guarding whatever it is. So be on the lookout.
Benson, how discreet are you around these other agents that are walking behind?
I think I am whispering to Jesus, so that the other four don't hear. Like if they were somehow agents of ours, they would be a different story.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and so
And
like I
Jesus,
think
sorry, go ahead.
yeah.
I was just gonna say Jesus. Whenever he talks, whenever he talks to Benson, he puts his hand to his ear as if he's talking into like a comm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of like talk into the ground like I'm sniffing the ground.
Excellent. The group is starting to walk past your container. You know that there's several containers to go before they get there, so they're still a bit casual. Like you can see, they're getting ready for action, but they're not in full tactical mode yet because they have a little while to walk before they get to that container. It is in the afternoon. There is some movement of people around, so your group, while you look like you mean business, it's not unusual for custom agents to come and check things out. So like you don't stand out too much. Well,
I'm in a full Canadian tuxedo, my friend.
Benson is a Dutch Shepherd. You asked me that earlier and I didn't answer.
Oh,
excellent.
nice.
Okay, so we're still in free play right now, so we don't have to go just player by player. If we enter a conflict, we're going to use what's called either the Balsara initiative or the Popcorn initiative. Basically, once someone starts doing something, they have control of the initiative. They choose who they hand it over next, and we're going to keep going like that until everyone in the scene has had a chance to play. So there's a bit of metagaming there that you get to figure out. If you keep all the NPCs for the end, they get to choose who's going to start at the next of turn after. So things to think about. But so we'll go to Cass and Jesse. What does Dr. Monto and Dr. Cricket Loudon do?
I think
as a group is starting to walk by.
I think I'm like whispering to her, like, we've got to distract them so that we can get a tactical strike in, which I think will be relatively easy because we're both very nude.
Yeah, but tactical. What's going to be the tactical strike?
Well, I'll try to sneak up behind them and slit their gills.
With a CD?
Yes. If you get it the right spot, it's very soft.
We're going to die.
There is that chance, yes.
I love that the CSIS agent's being rescued by two scientists.
Most CSIS agents are scientists.
And I think I just give a 1, 2, 3 and I slip out to try to sneak up behind the closest one.
All right, and I think you do wait till the last agent is gone by, so you catch the one that's trailing behind, and he's kind of, I think he pauses because he's getting something on his headset, and he answers back, and then he starts walking again.
All right, then yeah, I've got this broken CD in hand, and I just I like to think this will be fairly easy because I don't have shoes on anymore. That maybe I'll be nice and quiet as I just patter up and try to jam this thing into his neck.
Excellent. Well, go ahead and you can go ahead and roll me your stunt. Tell us what your stunt is again. Remind us.
Yeah, it's called Go for the Jugular. When I'm able to surprise attack someone, my first attack with a blade or sharp object uses academics to fight, since I know where to strike in, surgical terms with an alien.
So you can either click on the stunt on Roll20 or you can roll your dice.
Oh, I'm going to roll it. I like my dice. Okay.
Is your voice for Dr. Monto adult Stewie Griffin?
A little bit. He kind of was in Tides, too. Just that little bit of a lisp. Oh, my God. I am going to take a picture of this -4 that I rolled. I rolled all minuses. Wow, that's not going to do. Can I spend a fate point to use my obsessive alien surgeon as a reason to re-roll that?
Absolutely. You know the exact point to hit. As you said, the soft spot to be able to cut them up.
Oh my god.
Uh, wh- while you roll, um, I'm gonna figure out. Um, I'll give you something to work toward. I'm gonna roll the athletics for our clone
Oh,
hunters,
yes, yes.
and look at that. I just rolled a -2 on the dice, so that brings me to a 0.
I'm
Uh,
okay with it.
so so you can work with that.
Okay, all right. I can literally only go up from here.
Yeah.
Oh, that is far more palatable. That is a 5.
Excellent. That's including your academics.
Yep.
Fantastic. All right. So that is 5 stress that you're inflicting on that first hunter. So you inflict to him a mild consequence, and what what we're going to call it is actually I'm going to tell you what you've inflicted a mild consequence. You can boost that up if you would like. And if you want to invoke another aspect, you could bump that up to a moderate consequence.
Um yeah, maybe I could invoke spiteful because I'm angry at all of this deception and that they're about to take out a
Yeah,
friend. Um yeah.
I think I think you're stabbing him in the jugular more than once. I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, excellent. And so that brings it to a moderate consequence. And I'm going to call this severed artery. And you've got a free invoke on that if someone else um, wants to attack on that. So I think if Jesse, if Cricket wants to take advantage of this opening, you can probably do something with this because you have a free invoke waiting for you there to exploit that injury. He
Oof.
is bleeding
Okay.
pretty bad. There's
Yeah.
blue blood squirting. So if you want to catch him before he screams out something, now's the time.
Yeah. I think at like I will, as all of this blood is squirting, I will have walked to the behind the guy, or excuse me, the guy, um, and I think that the whole I will clamp a hand over their mouth to kind of shush a cry out, but the whole time I'm just looking at Monto like, hate you for this. I can't believe this is working. I hate you for this.
Do you just seek to keep him quiet, or do you try to finish ripping off the throat?
I think I'm gonna try and finish it off
All right,
when I
so
can
I
get.
think that's going to be a fight roll. How feisty is Doctor Loudon?
Ooh, um, I think that she um I think that she's not as feisty as she probably should be. Um, she's she's usually a bit of a pacifist, but seeing that he's already kind of halfway through with the deed at this point, it's a mercy killing. So, um, let's see what we can do.
Excellent.
I mean, given what
She's
you
right.
started with, that's not bad.
Yeah,
That,
honestly.
you know what? So Jesse just rolled a 1, and then we're gonna see how well our clone hunters are gonna do in these dire situation. Um, again, I think in this case because Tess, you already wrestling with it. I think it's about it's gonna be a yeah, it's gonna trying to be dodging you. They rolled a 2, and but you have a free invoke on that injury they have, so that will give you a +2. So you can grab that if you want and invoke that.
Take it.
It's yours.
Now, as the GM, I have 1 fate point per player per scene that I can use to invoke aspects, either scene aspects or my NPC's aspect. I'm gonna make your life a little bit harder, Jesse. I, I am gonna invoke the fact that the Ascellans and their clones have inhuman strength, and I'm just gonna pay a fate point. I'm gonna drop that over here, um, and that's gonna bump their effort to a 4 against your 3 with a free invoke. Now you have some fate point, and you can invoke something to tell us uh, how uh, how you overcome them, given everything that's going on. You can invoke the injury with an additional fate point because the free invoke doesn't use the aspect, or you can invoke something else.
Mm.
We've already declared that there's some broken glass on the
Ooh.
scene. You could invoke the broken glass as an aspect. I'll also I didn't generate aspects for everything that's around the port, but if you tell me there's something that'd be useful that you would commonly find alongside a port in a the dockyards, I would accept that as well.
Great. Like a net, like a fish net?
Sure, we can say that there's some cargo netting. Yeah, I would absolutely go for that. And so
Okay, great.
you can invoke a cargo net. You can invoke a cargo net of something or some straps that you're using to help you. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Then yeah, then I will grab a cargo net. And
Awesome. Okay, describe to us. This is going to be the finishing blow on this agent. Describe to us what this looks like when you throw the cargo net and you go for the throat.
I think that I will run up as Monto is doing the initial stabbing. I will grab a cargo net. I will throw, and then I will start choking from behind.
All right. And I think as the two of you are struggling with him and your hand catches on the throat on where that was cut, you rip this open. It reveals the blue Ascellan skin. The blood is splurting, and with a gurgle, he collapses to the ground. Now, Jesus, you're pretty tuned up. Do you think that your character heard something there?
No, I'm listening to 99 Red Balloons in French. It's really loud. But I do notice that the geese are getting more active.
Absolutely.
There's like
You can
it's
smell the blood.
yeah, they can smell the like the Montreal port is like kind of it's like an intensely huge delta. It looks kind of like the River Thames. So it's like there's this huge weather front moving in, and I noticed that the geese are starting to like circle above. And then can I commune with them to figure out what's happening? This is
Absolutely.
There's a character choice I'm making instead of just looking around.
Absolutely. So on that note, Jesse, please make sure you mark a corruption on your character sheet for the use of your corruption stunt. And just for our folks, what that means is that as they're using corruption, we're marking checkbox on the Ascellan's timeline. So right, you're making things work because you're doing the good Ascellan's work, you're doing the aliens' work, because the more you lean into their powers, your characters are turning into the very enemy you're trying to overcome. So right now, Jessie has marked a corruption when she did the psychometry, and now, as Jesus is communing with the geese, I'm assuming that you're starting to lean into your foul attraction.
My foul attraction.
So mark a corruption as well, please.
Alrighty. Yeah.
This is so rad.
Do I just click on it to mark a corruption? Or?
Yeah. So if you go into character sheet, just click one, and it's gonna mark it. Oh, sorry, that's gonna be on your actual character sheet.
Oh, my
I've,
actual.
I've, yeah, I've got you here.
Okay, I gotcha. Well, I also colored it in on the other sheets.
I saw that.
All right, here. I will color it prettier for you.
I was like, oh, there's a paintbrush.
Awesome. We're doing well. We're doing well. Uh, so so that is 2 tick marks on the timeline as you're leading early on into your corruption. I'm loving it. So tell us, what do you do with your foul attraction?
I get like a kind of a top-down view of the entire shipyard. I can see through the eyes of this like kludge of geese that are starting to circle above, and I go, "Holy Order of Canada, what the fuck is going on?" That's a real order. That's a real thing that you could get in Canada. Um, so can I see? I will ask you this, Pascal. Can I see what's going on?
So right now, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the geese to help you notice everything that's happening around you. So what I'm going to have you, as you've marked corruption, um, you're going to roll me in this case. You're trying to create an advantage. You're going to just roll me. Let's see. I think that's going to be a lower. That's going to be a lower. We forgot to write that down on this stunt.
Or
You're going to roll me a lower versus just a +2. Okay.
2. So that's the modifier is +2.
Yeah. So you're trying to beat. You're trying to beat a +2.
Okay.
And yeah, and
And then the foul attraction gives me what kind of
and yeah, so for folks that are in the audience, we kind of jolted down this stunt very quickly, and then this is gonna be you're gonna be getting a +2 to your
Okay.
lower roll with this. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. 1.
How did you roll? Oh, you have no lore. My lord. All right. We're gonna have to fix this, my friend. Yeah. All right.
Is that bad?
Yeah, well, I mean, you failed your roll. So what that does is if you don't spend a fate point and invoke something, you're going to be creating an advantage, but you're creating an advantage for the opposition in this case instead of your geese helping you. It's going to help alerting the Ascellan that something is going on. So what would you like to invoke?
Well, as I said during character creation, I do have a forklift ticket. So can I invoke a forklift? Is that possible? We're in an industrial zone.
Abdul is going to be the death of me. So I'll definitely give you that there's a forklift, and I can see you just basically climbing on the forklift to get a better angle and be a higher to connect with the geese.
Okay.
If you want to, and that to get the geese' attention initially, right? Just physically and mentally. And I think there's so much distraction with the weather front and everything. They're initially not paying attention to you, but once you climb up, they hear your thoughts, and then you finally establish a connection with them. So we'll take that fate point, and then what that does, that brings you to a 3, a +3.
Should I
So
move this token into the play area?
yeah, so you just drag your token into the play area, and the same thing for folks on Roll20. Who's paid me a fate point before?
Have I done 2?
Yes, you've done 2 already.
Yeah.
So you can click on your fate points above your name, and you can drag them into the play area. And then All right.
Oh, I see.
And so, Abdul, with your geese aiding you, the geese notice the pattern. You were going to connect with the geese to help you scan the container that you're about to go break into to see if there was anybody around there. But since they're scanning the whole area, you see that behind you, these two half-naked people in lab coats are wrestling with one of the agents. And as you're about to call a warning to the rest, you see blue blood squirting out of there, and you realize you've been made. There's aliens among you. What do
and
you do?
and Cricket and Monto are like rising up from the body with the wind blowing our blue blood stained lab coats and our naked forms underneath.
Now you can.
Red balloons playing so loud.
Oh yeah, and Monto sees Jesus like see them, and then you start to hear like, "I've had the time of my life," and I'm like, "Who is that cool guy?"
I mean, this is, you know, look at him. Look at him. If Benson follows him, he's got to be awesome.
So
What do you do with
Jesus,
this information?
so Jesus reaches behind his back and he's got a gun duct tape back there, a la Die Hard. And he grabs the gun that was duct taped back there, and then he goes, "Eat lead, blue bloods," and then he starts unloading a clip into, I guess all the everyone that's not Cricket and Monteau.
And usually you would get one action, but since we've done the geese just to spot what's going on, I will have you shoot at them because this is just the opening scene we're doing. Go for it. Open fire on these agents.
Okay. What should I use? Does it?
So you're
Can
gonna
I?
use shoot,
Okay.
and you're using all your best skills.
Yeah, it's bad. Do I get any kind of modifier for it?
So if you click on your character sheet on the shoot, it will add the +1, and that's what you're starting with. And we'll see how the opposition does.
Okay. Here we go. Huh. 3.
Well, that's
That's
not bad.
really good.
That's not bad.
That's really good. Hey, so Benson, you see your partner ripping off your shotgun. You figure there's gonna be trouble ahead, but then you see him whipping around and he's taking a shot at the other CSIS agent. Something is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, they got a fair. Okay.
So they as you pull the gun on them, the other agents move really fast, and you barely graze one of them, unless you want to invoke something. Jesus.
Oh, can I ask for help from Benson?
Um.
Is that a thing we can do or no?
So Benson, in the case of shooting, he can't help you with your shooting. He could probably have, if you had given him the initiative, he could have set up the action for you, but he didn't know yet that they were the enemy.
I see.
Right? So, but you could invoke one of your aspects right now and spend a fate point on one of those.
Okay. Can I invoke the bastard will not escape?
Let's see. What was the bastard will not escape again? Let's remind ourselves.
Nobody gets away from you. +2 to overcome with athletics when chasing someone on foot. They're not really
No.
running.
Now you're
Yeah.
not chasing them right now, but what you could invoke your code name Walgoose. You're a CSIS agent. You've got pretty deadly aim.
Okay. I guess I'll do that then.
All right. So
Yeah.
you can click on your fate point and drag one on the mat, and that bumps you up to a 5 against their 2. So you inflict 3 stress on that agent. They're grazed, but once they do that, they're starting to draw their gun. Now you have a big decision to make. Zero pressure. Do you want to give the initiative to the agents, the alien agents, or do you want to give it to Benson? If you give it to
Oh.
Benson, the agents are gonna have two rounds in a row, most likely.
Oh fuck. Uh, Benson, what should I do? That's my dog.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes sense if they go first because I was like, all my attention is forward towards the box.
Okay, yeah. Then I'll give it to them, and but I will go. Benson, it's pretty fucked up right now.
Blue bloods.
There's blue
All
blood.
right. All right. So the 3 agents quickly realize that they've been made. They all draw their weapons, but I don't think they have any reasons to look behind yet.
Nice.
So, yeah. Well, I mean, nice. You might see the future repeat itself. Again.
Nice, except for now they only have 2 targets.
Crickets, you might have your vision come true. All right. So I think the first one is gonna take a shot at Jesus. This is gonna sound weird to me the whole time we do this.
If you're gonna take a shot at the king, you better not miss.
Yeah. All right. And so he draws his weapon quickly and starts firing at you. It's not a great shot. I just rolled a 2. So Jesus, for you to be able to dodge this, you would be rolling athletics.
Okay. Zero.
Oh,
Zero.
no.
0. I just want to make sure this is working fine. Oh, I'm not sure if your athletics, your modifier didn't go in. So that's actually, yeah, +1. There we go. 0. 0 indeed it is. All right. So that is 2 stress for you. However, as they fire, I'm going to pay a fate point, and I'm going to invoke. They have superior Ascellan tech.
Oh.
This is no ordinary gun. Okay. And as it starts firing, it's firing these strange darts at you. And this bumps it up at a 4 against your 0. And you were expecting a bullet, and as you're dodging one way, these darts flow out, and it's like the darts are trying to come at you from different directions. So that will be 4 shifts of stress right now that you're receiving.
Oh shit!
So again, stress, a reminder for listeners, stress is not damage. It just reflects that Jesus right now is jumping into crates, rolling underground, probably getting cut up a little bit by some broken glass, but no significant injuries. So you can tick off 4 stress on your character.
Okay. Which one of the tracks is stress?
The track is the red track. You
Red.
have, you're pretty tough. So you have 6 physical stress.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So this is nothing too exciting right now. I think that as the other aliens see you doing this, they drop all pretense. You see the clone hunter flinging his hands, and sharp blue claws emerge from his hand and from his hands, and he goes a little bit berserk. He lets out an inhuman roar, and he starts running at you.
Okay. Fuck.
And he's getting close contact. They're not seeing Benson as a threat right now. You're the threat. You've got the gun. You open fire on them. He's just a dog. What's he gonna do? So again, roll me another athletic as this alien is starting to reveal his features and is coming to tear you apart.
Can I use like land on my feet or anything? I'm not falling from a great height. Okay.
No, you're not falling yet, unfortunately. So
Okay.
right now,
Oh,
on
-2.
whoa. All right.
Wow.
Oh no, you rolled academics. So
Oh shit.
we'll add a +1 to that, so that's a -1. That's a
Okay.
-1. So right now that's 6. Right now that's 6 stress that you're suffering. So that means that you would absorb 2 more stress, and then you need to take consequences.
Okay.
Unless you invoke something that comes to mind.
Can I invoke foul attraction again to get the geese to like defend me?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Are they like swooping in front of the just
Yeah.
taking the hits? Oh my god.
They're
I'll-
slamming into him.
I'll- So with the geese, I'll let 2 of the geese absorb 2 shifts of stress right now, based on the roll you had with your foul attraction.
Okay.
So that would reduce the stress. 2 of the geese are dead, and that reduces your flock. Now, unfortunately, that leaves you 6 minus 2 is 4 stress to absorb.
Would he? I'm curious. Would he have been able to defend with physique since it was like a melee attack?
So you could argue physique, basically how you're soaking it in. If it was punches, in this case, it's claws coming at you. So I would say, tensing up is not going to help you very, very much to be able to absorb that. So you really have to dodge those claws. There's feathers flying all over the place. And I think for the 2 of you, Dr. Monteau and Cricket, you're seeing this flock of geese launching themselves between our CSIS agent and the aliens, and the alien is staring to these geese. One goes flying on the right, one goes flying on the left, and now he covered in feathers and blood. He's coming at you. So you could absorb 2 more stress, Abdul, and then take a minor consequence now.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right. So the minor consequence, we'll just call it cut up. This is something you can bandage up once you get a chance to recover a little bit. It is nothing that you have to worry about too much. It's a pretty quick recovery. But there's a free invoke that they'll get up with this. Okay, so this is going to be the next one is going to be the dangerous one. That last agent that's going to be coming at you.
Wait, they're still coming at me?
There's one more, because there was Cricket was so quiet with that takedown of the last agent that they didn't hear them.
Can I get into a forklift and try and run this guy over?
Soon, actually, you can invoke the forklift as a protection if you want to as well, and to get a bonus. So this last agent is gonna take a shoot at you as you're trying to dodge. So we'll. That was a good shot.
No.
I am so sorry. I rolled a +3. Abdul, I am so sorry.
Oh no.
Am I dead?
You're not dead. You're not dead. Roll athletics, though.
Roll athletics, okay.
Now, this is a good time. While you're rolling, I'll remind everyone, remember that in any scene when you're in a conflict, you can always, before the dice are rolled, you can always choose to concede. When you concede, you get a fate point for conceding. You get to narrate. Oh, you don't need to concede. Just a little fate point, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
And you'll get another fate point for every consequence that you receive. So
Wow. Yeah.
so an example here, you could decide you jump off the docks into the water to escape these aliens. And then you get to narrate your own leaving the scene, and then you get to come back to fight stronger after, right?
Okay.
So
Jesus drinks
for
the rest of the double double that he has to give him enough energy, and he eats an old fashioned.
so Jesus, right now, you'd be taking one stress, which would force you to absorb a moderate consequence. You would be getting shot pretty bad unless you spend a fate point to be able to dodge all this.
What is the consequence of spending the fate points?
So once you run out of fate points, you've lost some agency over influencing the narrative when the dice don't go your way, or to declare a new story element. If you're going to concede that fight, the advantage is that he's going to restock you on fate point for the rest of the game. And your fate points will refresh at the next session we play. So the next time we meet up, you're going to be back at three full fate points.
Okay, I'll spend a fate point to not take the damage.
All right. What are you going to invoke? Are you going to invoke your eye concept again?
Yes.
All right. The code name Wild Goose.
Wild Goose. Please.
Awesome.
Please. Oh, protect me.
The a goose shield, activate.
Please help.
They just start carrying you away. He looks like when they're airlifting in King Kong. It's just-
And now the three agents have taken their shots. Benson, this is all going to hell. This is not the
Yeah.
way it's supposed to go. What do you do?
Yeah, so I turn around, and I see him just get bull rushed and shot many times. But I think I see the two familiar people in the back also.
Absolutely. You would recognize them.
Yeah, they don't
They look a bit
recognize
older.
me, but I recognize them. And I think I get excited. But I realize
and your
these
tail
aliens-
wags.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to do my zoomy stunt and start running
Ooh.
around the aliens, to disorient them and hopefully make some benefits for my teammates here.
Awesome. So go ahead. And again, during a conflict, Benson can use athletics to run around opponents to distract them. So what you're going to run athletics, you're trying to beat a +2. If you're succeeding, you're going to create an advantage for your teammates. And you're going to create an additional free invoke. That is awesome. Well done. So
Hell
that's a
yeah.
5. So you succeed with style. Well done. You're going to get to describe to us what that looks like. So that usually would create 2 free invokes. In your case, you get 3 free invokes.
Okay. Yeah, so I think I'm just weaving. Benson like sees, particularly because I think I know Dr. Loudon better. I think she's the one that I recognize, and I start weaving amongst all of the aliens, kind of running in circles around them, and you both hear Dr. Benson's voice. I can't believe they actually were able to send someone else back. I thought we were going to have to do this all by ourselves. But you can't tell where it's coming from because the dog is running very fast.
Excellent. And Rev, because you're at the end of the turn, you get to figure out who you want to give the initiative to for the next turn. Because we're going to start start of round again.
Yeah. What is the where is that at? What is your zone?
So right now, yeah, that's a great question. Because we were in just free play, I would say each container would be a different. You have the main laneway, and for each container that you move would be a given zone. So right now, I'm going to place you all in the same zone in the sense that we've got at the back we have Dr. Monto and Cricket that are with the down agent, and then the three of you are pretty close by. And I'm just gonna put this like this on the little map so you get a sense of. And you're so you can look just behind the little piece. I'm just drawing this right now in a map area. Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of fate points that get tossed there, and then we have. I'm just gonna grab you four here. And you're running zoomies around them.
Yeah. Perfect.
There we go.
Okay. So I will yell out for everyone to cover their ears, but I will pass it over to I think Cricket.
All right, Cricket. You have a down agent, and you can see clearly their holster with this with the gun that they have under their belt. So do you can draw the pistol if you want to, or you can fight with the net and broken AOL CD if you prefer to go gladiator style.
No, I'll take that gun. I'll take that gun very willingly.
Good night, Josh. All right, go for it.
Excellent. Let me see. +1 in shoot. That's not terrible.
I believe in you.
That's good. You've got the same shooting skills as a CSIS agent.
It's an average.
Okay.
Excellent. Excellent. Perfect. So
way better than I did.
Excellent. Just 1 second. We're gonna go like this, and they are fast. The clone hunter is trying to dodge out of the way, but you have 3 free invokes because Benson is running the zoomies around them. Each free invoke is going to give you a +2. So you can, if you want to take all the free invokes, that's going to give you a +6. That's going to bump you up to a 7. And then if you want to spend a fate point, you can invoke one of your aspects as well, and then you can you can deal with that. But I will tell you what, this the second one here, yeah, you can go ahead. What would you like to do?
I'm trying to figure out a way to use this wonderful forklift that we've got just I would love to try and figure out a way to like make a trap using the forklift and my net to catch the last two. While Benson like distracting them, I would have tried to like Scooby-Doo trap them.
Yeah.
Since this is the opening scene, let's be creative. On the forklift, maybe that forklift was lifting up a. I'll give you a cargo net filled with boxes. Sure. Instead of shooting the Ascellans, you want to say you're shooting at a cargo net?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Because see, I don't care about those Ascellans because you're going to the past. We don't care about them. They're just the initial entry scene. So I think that as you shoot the net, you've got these boxes tumbling down and that fall down on the Ascellans. So what I will let you do is this is going to affect all three of them. And we said if you want to invoke the zoomies, the +6, so that's going to inflict 3 stress on each one of them. And if I've got any fate experts in the listening chat, we're playing a little bit loosey goosey here. It's our opening scene. We're just gonna make this move. All right. So cricket, where would you like to turn the initiative to?
I think I'm gonna kick it to Monteau.
Jesus, you see this lady in this lab coat, not wearing much else, grabbing the gun from the CSIS agent and shooting at the net from the forklift that you were using to call up the geese, and tumbling down these crates on the agent. You know, like, she is something. She's got potential.
I salute the cricket, and I salute the forklift, and I go, "Oh, Canada, our home invasion." I recite the Canadian national anthem.
Oh, Canada, please save me.
Okay. All right, Dr. Monteau, what do you do?
Man, we've already done some corruption moves today. Tell me real quick a little more about this track. Like, if I were to use, say, a corruption move, then the Ascellans get another tick on this sort of.
That's right. You're winning the fight, but you're losing the war, is what it means. Right?
Right.
The more you're all embracing your corruption, the faster you're turning into aliens yourself.
Yeah.
Which is why, it's in the end you might become the new vanguard if you're not careful.
Yeah. So like on this track, it has like the Ascellans and then the arrows over to the ripples. Like, do the ripples happen? Like, do we mark all 4 boxes and then a ripple and then have to mark them all 4 again and then another ripple?
Correct.
I got it.
That's
got it.
Correct.
So
That's correct. Yeah.
It's not quite as dire as I was thinking originally, but it's still dire. But I believe the kids still often say YOLO. So I want to try to. I think I have a way to get my little surprise round back, even though we're in the middle of the battle, because I'm going to kneel back down next to this body and touch it and try to take his form.
Oh, I love it. Mark, let's mark some corruption here.
Okay. Oh, I'm using the wrong piece. All right.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so
And
you know what? I'm going to roll it on here.
oh, okay.
All right, doppelganger. I can copy the appearance of someone I touch, gain a +2 to create an advantage using deceive. On a success, you are an exact physical copy, and with style, I also have copied their mind and can recall memories using will, possibly. So here we go. Wait, what do I? Oh,
Yeah. So if you click where it says roll deceive, if you click on that 2+2, it should do the roll for you.
Okay. It says a macro option came up. Did I hit something weird?
Let me see. No, so you just click submit.
Oh, okay.
It wants to know if you have any bonuses. So let's see. I'll just want to make sure it goes. Yeah, perfect. Okay. and then this is just a +2 difficulty. So you succeed. Did you roll? You rolled a -1 plus your bonuses. Um, so you managed to create an advantage. On a success, you're able to create an exact physical copy. Now, if you invoke something, you're going to succeed with style, and you will have copied their mind.
I don't. I think this is a little more frantic. I don't think I'm going to invoke anything yet.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect. All right. So you just copied them, and now you look exactly like that agent.
Yeah, and I know I'll probably be throwing attention here, but as I do that, and my skin graft like ripples, and I take on his form, I've I've got that broken CD in hand, and I am rushing towards the other agents. Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Uh, so who do you want to hand this off to now?
Oh man, do I let them have the double rounds? God, I kind. Oh,
We still have Benson and Jesus to go. Right?
yeah, and I mean, I'm Jesus' biggest fan. I want to see what he's gonna do.
Excellent. No pressure.
Yeah.
None of them are dead, right? They're still all up.
Excuse me. We've taken care
There's
of
one
one.
dead. That's one dead.
There's one
the
dead.
Three.
Okay.
Yeah, the three that you were fighting are still all up.
The three that tried to murder you are all still awake.
Frig. So yeah, Jesus looks at Benson and he makes sure Benson's okay. He's like, "Phew, my dog's okay." I would totally pull a John Wick if anything happened to him.
Yeah.
He okay. Can I provoke them somehow?
You could provoke in a couple of different ways, right? So you could try to create an advantage by intimidating them,
Mhm.
which is going to help the next person attacking them.
Uh-huh.
You could also try to do a direct hit on them to intimidate them by creating some mental stress. But so
Okay.
far, they haven't been hit in that area. It's all been physical damage. So from a player perspective, you would know that you're kind of starting from scratch in that area to see how heavily you'll be able to influence them. But if you do well, like you could see like yourself getting out from that fight and kind of shaking things off, you might be able to scare them off. But
Do we know what the pods were that was in the shipping container?
no, we don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, because we haven't gotten there yet
It's
Yeah.
to
true.
open it in this timeline.
Yeah.
Right.
You haven't gotten to your
Yeah.
future yet.
Yeah,
Frig.
we're
Okay.
slowly making our way there.
Okay. So Jesus like scans the lay of the land and he's like he wants to try and intimidate them somehow. So he sees the forklift and he is gonna try and do the thing that he was thinking of doing. Oh wait, yeah, that he was thinking of doing before, where he just like takes a tire iron and like jams it onto the gas and like tries to get it to like smash into them to scare them away.
Right. So we're gonna roll this. If you're trying to actually hurt them, I would have you roll a craft roll because you're trying to jerry rig something. But since you're
Mhm.
purely trying to intimidate them with this to launch something heavy at them, I'll let you do the provoke because I get
Okay.
you're trying to really scare them, and I'm gonna say you're trying to unsettle them to throw them off because they're expecting you to pull your gun and shoot at them, right? And this is like,
Which
what the hell is this guy doing? He's a menace.
we know canonically now does not work. So he needs to find a different way to attack. So yeah, he does that. He He grabs a tire iron off the back of the thing, jams it in there, and before he rolls, he screams, "In the name of Governor General Brian Mulrooney."
All right, go ahead.
3.
That's a 3. The dice are not in your favor. This is
Oh,
awesome.
shitty.
This is awesome. You're really helping showcase
How bad someone can do.
that it's okay to fail forward. Uh, um, with with a 3, you're trying to create an advantage. So you're doing all right, right? You just need to be at a +2. And what you're creating here, we're gonna call this. So the Zoomies advantage that was created, we've used all 3 free invokes. We're gonna go trace. We're gonna call this one Runaway.
Train never coming back.
Runaway truck. That's good enough. Forklift. Runaway forklift. All right, with a free invoke. And I think that's enough for that. They have to jump out of the way, and it's distracting them. So you've created an advantage for someone else now that does it. But the other piece is that they've clawed at you, they've shot you, you should be dead. But yet you're getting back up, and instead of running the hell away from them, you're baring your teeth and you're shoving a forklift at them. They're a little bit unsettled. You're supposed to die, and you're not, and they're kind of glitching. This is not what the main timeline is supposed to be. Who do you want to hand this off to?
That's pretty sick. I will hand it off to Cricket, because that move where she shot the crates was super cool.
So Cricket is gone. So we've got Benson left, or else the aliens.
Okay, I'll hand it off to Benson, and I'll be like, "Benson, help me, please. I'm doing so bad."
Yeah, I'm gonna try to just corruption wild. I'm gonna try to bark at these aliens, see if I can hurt them.
Absolutely.
They are messing us up.
Let's mark some corruption.
All right. Okay, I did it, I think.
All right.
See it elsewhere.
That's okay. I got you on the sheets.
That's fair.
Okay. So go ahead and tell us what your bark does again.
Yeah, mark corruption and make an ultrasonic attack using will +2 against everyone in your zone without splitting the effect. Targets must defend with physique. You may spend a fate point to bypass stress and impose the stunned consequence to one target.
All right.
4.
Ooh.
Which means I rolled a flat 0.
It's okay. It's okay. We're doing all right. And they have to defend with will. Right? Oh, no, physique. Physique. Yeah. Oh, this is.
Is that probably worse for me?
That's all right. That's all right. I'm just gonna roll one roll for 3 of them. They defended great. You're using their own technology against them.
Yeah.
This is where it's totally worth to invoke a couple of things. First, you have a free invoke because they're distracted. There's a runaway forklift coming at them.
Yeah.
So that would boost your effect to +6. Since they weren't prepared for you to come at them, they definitely were not prepared for you to be sending an hypersonic bark at them.
Yeah.
So that brings you to a 6. uh, that will make them mark a mild consequence for all of them. Do you want to bump that up?
I do. I think I will invoke unusual breed.
Excellent.
That just makes sense to me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so, actually, unusual breed, that's a corrupted
Oh,
aspect.
you
If you
can't.
enter that, well, you're gonna be marking another box.
Oh.
So,
In that case, actually, how does it work when you invoke someone else's? I still spend the fate point, but I invoke their aspect.
yeah. So if you can justify how that's helping you out, you can
Yeah.
describe that, or
Uh,
they could spend a fate point to boost you up and explain how their aspect is helping you up as well.
yeah. So I think I will spend a fate point to invoke. I love Benson so much. Like the fact that I see he is in such bad condition
Oh.
has got me like my hackles kind of come up. So it could even be I'm actually invoking basic instinct. Either one of those work.
Oh
Just the
yeah,
idea of
like
like,
yeah, basic instincts. You've got fight of the dog, right?
yeah.
So yeah, yeah. That's good. So you've inflicted them all a moderate consequence, and what we'll do is uh, that's gonna knock them out. They fall flat out, and they're knocked down unconscious. What do you do? So you have these. We have one agent dead. You have three agents that are knocked unconscious. Um, you can finish them off if you want. Um,
We think we
before
can restrain one of them, perhaps the least deadly one. It might be a good idea to get some information if possible. But that aside, welcome to the 1990s.
Yes.
Slash page.
Oh, we got the bare naked ladies to do the theme song too,
Yeah.
so that's great.
so you have the bare naked doctors, I believe. All right. So you've knocked them down. Um, Doctor Monteau, Doctor Cricket Loudon, what do you tell them? You've got this under control right now. You still haven't revealed the sea container, but this is it. We're out of conflict right now. I think we see you dusting yourself off. We start a new scene. What does this look like?
I think I do put my hands up because I look like one of the agents still. And I'm like, no, it's me. It's Dr. Monteau. Hello. I've taken on their form to try to trick them.
I
Pleasure.
had assumed it was you because I would have been surprised if one of them looked like our agent, then turned back into their alien shape, and then looked like you, and then turned into their regular shape again.
Yes. No, that's quite good. Fair. Well, we're here because of dear Cricket here was able to find some things in our time that led us to this location and what was going to be your death. And we thought it prudent to shift that a bit in the favor of both your lives and humanity.
Jesus, meet my comrades from the future, Dr. Loudon and Dr. Monteau. This is Jesus St. Clair.
I say, what happened to you, Benson?
Oh, yes. Yes, that's right. And he like puts his paw up, and he's just got a paw, but like there's the dew claw back here, and you realize that this kind of it like a long finger, it like he's got it pressed up against his palm, so that dew claw comes down and acts as his thumb.
Whoa.
And he he like pulls out a notebook from the little canvas sack around his waist. Yes, we were tracking some shipments coming out of the cloning facility, and this was the closest we could get. And luckily, Jesus here worked for an organization that had jurisdiction in this warehouse.
It's right. It's called CSIS. It's like the Canadian CIA, except we don't have guns and we aren't allowed to leave Canada.
Been very difficult trying to operate only in Canada.
You're telling me we're such a poorly funded international spy agency? We're so poorly funded. We had to put in a grant to the Canada Council for the Arts last year.
Oh,
We're
you
trying
should
for
take
arts
one of.
funding.
Speaking of, you should take one of their guns.
I take one.
Absolutely. You have 4 guns for a temporary, very temporary period.
And I think I say as much. I'm like, yes. Well, depending on your level of participation, we hoped you might join us. You see, with things sort of neatly wrapped up here, we're going to try to shift back again. In 69, the moon landing. It turns out that there was a little more to night, right? Yes. Oh, fuck, you're so cool. It turns out that the Sea of Tranquility, it was actually hiding something, an artifact, a probe of some sort, of Ascellan make. The moon landing was used as sort of a cover. There was a General Peterson, I believe, that headed up that portion of the trip. Whatever it is that they found, I'm not entirely sure I know what it is off of the top of my head, but it was important to the Ascellans.
So you're suggesting we leave 1999 in the hope that the things we can do in 1969 have a strong enough ripple effect to undo plans that they'll have now and in the future.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, we're clearly found out here. Staying here doesn't seem to be a great idea.
I'm having real trouble having a serious conversation with you.
Oh, says the man with his dong flapping in the wind.
Well, I've got it high on my list to find a turtleneck and some slacks, but that's just not as important at this moment.
It's really windy. It's really flapping around.
Yes, well...
It's like a windsock.
It's like a squall is blowing in.
I make no move to button up this coat.
He's like, thank you for noticing.
If you're going to keep putting attention on it, I'm just going to leave it there.
And this is how the kinetic goose clothesline was invented. So
Dead geese.
Yes, I think that if we go back into 1969, it might actually help Jesus as well, because I'm not sure will your organization exist then?
No,
I'm sorry to make you
Wait.
Google.
you're going to the U.S., so they won't have jurisdiction there.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
They don't have-
It will widen your jurisdiction if they don't exist.
It's fine if they don't exist. It's they barely exist now, in all honesty.
All right.
They exist so little that I'm sure almost nobody on this stream was like, "Oh, CSIS." They were all like, "What the fuck is CSIS?" I guarantee you, 100% of the people on the stream, including the Canadians, were like, "What the fuck is CSIS?"
You said it last week and I had forgotten. That's how rarely.
There we go. Thank you, audience. CSIS was founded in 1984.
Nice.
Perfect.
You're
You'll
going
be
where no CSIS agents has
Yes.
walked before.
You'll be an agent of the world now.
That's right. But it'll give me a chance to get revenge on my arch enemy,
Oh yes.
Sully Sullenberger,
Yes.
American Airlines pilot who stole my life from me.
Mm.
And then you hear a pan flute play in the background as he stares into the distance.
Well, I'm sure we could arrange leaving sooner than later, but I could also try to rouse one of these fellows in the form of well, his compatriot, and see if I can get any information out of them first.
I think that's why your nudity was so distracting, was because it's alien.
No, I was in a hurry. It's
You
just
only did the top
it's
half.
just bust. Yes.
Yes, you're alien Winnie the Poohing it. I see.
Yes.
Cricket, have you shared with them what was in the container that you saw that Jesus opened right before he died?
No, there's just been too much of this dingling talk. Um, I think that here's a question outside of game. If I were to have brought the journal that we had with us, like, will that mess? Is it one of those things where it's like you can't have two things in the same timeline? I just wanted to compare it to what Benson's journal is like and see if it's the same journal.
Sure. We'll assume it's all made of paper and you were able to bring it across with you. Yeah, so I think you have the journal. Benson, do you carry your journal with you?
Yeah. And I'm aware of how time travel works, so I make sure to write in squid ink.
Well done. Very
Brilliant. Brilliant.
All organic.
So I think as you compare the journals, because his last entry was regarding when he had made the connection about those sea containers, that about a strange shipment coming from Edinburgh in Scotland. The journals are identical, except that yours, identical in content, I should say, that yours is all worn out and covered in blood and things like that, right? From now you understand that puppy blood, as probably if he's carrying in his little pocket. So, yeah, but yeah, the copies are identical. Do you tell him about the strange shipment and what's in it?
I do. Yes, I will. Is this what you guys were on the way to? What to see before we arrived?
Yeah, we were trying to. Benson had used all 1,000 hours of my AOL membership this month to track the mysterious shipments to a shipping container on this dock.
Yeah.
Should we crack it open?
Excellent.
Yes. So it was like little. Yeah, let's open it.
You crack the containers open, and you can see there 4 pods containing alien clones.
All right.
Actually, for the two of you from the future that have been there the longest, you would recognize that these are clones of the Ascellan Vanguard. They look like identical copies of one of the leaders of the Ascellans.
Oh, fabulous.
And clearly they were starting to ship clone copies of them to the Americas so they could start expanding their control.
Well, just in case we fail miserably in 69, maybe I should
Right.
take these apart. Yes, very, very nice.
So I'm not gonna make you roll for these, as you have control of the scene, and you're both scientists from the future. You've worked with the technology, so I think you sabotage the clone pods, and you're under no pressure right now. And we see the clones starting to get agitated and die off, one by one. This is not the story we're here to tell. A little bit of mechanics right now. You have marked 4 negative boxes for the Ascellans, so that has caused 1 negative ripple to the timeline. So I'm going to reset that side. On your side, you have taken down the clone hunters, that whose mission was to take down Dr. Benson and his handler. Uh, and so, as such, you have foiled one of the minions' plan.
Woo!
But now you've also killed the clones that were being sent here. So that's another of the Ascellan's plans that you have now been able to affect. One mechanic that I failed to socialize to you. There are 4 timeline aspects in play at all time. These 4 timeline aspects are, they could be anyone, even CSIS agents. There are secret alliances against humanity. There are impenetrable alien schemes. And finally, there are willing pawns of Sagittarius. So you get a chance to affect those aspects as you change the time. But in addition, whenever you successfully invoke one of those aspects and succeed at a task, you get to mark a positive resistance box. So something to remember once we move to 1969. I should totally have brought that up to you. Apologies.
Oh, that's great.
And so that way, right now, where we're at, you have gotten rid of those clones. You have changed something significant in the timeline in 1999, because you've taken down the 4 clone hunters that were sent there to stop agents from modifying the timeline, and you have stopped the clones from spreading to North America. So I will give you another loss on your side.
Woo!
And now that brings us to you've quickly realized now that anytime you change the timeline, it sends ripples, right? And the Ascellans can detect those ripples. So as soon as you've done a significant change, they can zone in on you.
Ooh.
So yes, you've killed those clone hunters, but you suspect another team is going to be dispatched from the future. You said you're going to jump to 1969. Do you want to explain to them the decision you have to make now? Because you're trying to stop the aliens from retrieve something from the Sea of Tranquility. So how are you proposing to do this, Dr. Monto?
Yeah, I mean, I think I lay this out. I mean, it'll end up being a pretty long conversation, but like, so we want to either, God, we want to wait. Oh God, there's a few.
Okay.
We can try to infiltrate the Navy ship that's receiving the astronauts from the Pacific when they come down. We can wait for the crew's arrival at the lunar receiving laboratory and capture the artifact. God, we could replace the Apollo 11 crew entirely. Those are kind of the big ones.
I like that a lot. I personally, Abdul, I like that a lot. I like replacing the Apollo 11 crew, because that would be fun to just go to space. We got the dog, the Sputnik thing. Like, you just have to, Benson, you just have to pretend to be Russian, and then we can get you into space.
Barak.
So
Oh.
Dr. Monto and Dr. Loudon would have had time to do some research on this. So you know that the USS Hornet is going to sail from the West Coast to the Pacific Ocean at approximate coordinates to retrieve the Apollo 11 crew. The lunar receiving laboratories are in Houston, Texas. And the Kennedy Space Center, of course, is in Florida, Cape Canaveral. This is the launch, where the launch of Apollo 11 happens. So you kind of have to figure out, if you decide to split between these locations, you won't be able to easily commute back and forth, right? You're kind of committed to the location you're at. So high risk if you decide to multiple sites, or all eggs in one basket, you go to one of these locations.
Yeah. Is there
And
anybody? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask if there's anybody on this call or in the stream that doesn't assume we're going to try to go to the moon.
The crew is 3 people, right?
Yeah.
But
Perfect.
you can probably squeeze a dog in there.
Yeah.
And also, at this point in time, Sully Sullenberger is 17 years old and he's living in Cape Canaveral. So my vote is for that.
There we go.
It's like fate.
There we go. So
Like, he said the name of the game.
He said
Hey,
the thing. He said the thing.
said
he
it.
said the thing. All right. So are we going to Florida?
I guess we're going to Florida.
You
don't
act
have,
like
that's-
any choice
that's
is going
my
to be
vote.
easier than the other. It's all still 4 dice. What story do you want to tell?
Yeah. What story do you want to tell? I mean, how hard can it be to fly a rocket?
Yeah.
They only trained for a little while to do this.
We
Yeah.
have 3
Yeah, and-
scientists.
Yeah.
And I have a forklift ticket. So I'm
Yeah.
already basically halfway there.
Yeah. Well, all right. Moon's haunted.
Moon is haunted.
Moon is haunted.
What could go wrong? All right. So the last scene we're gonna do is, someone is bound to show up here. There's been a bunch of fire. There's been a firefight. The Ascellan Vanguard will notice this timeline ripple. It has been significant. You've changed what's happening up here at the eve of the 21st century.
And Jesus gave the dead geese a Viking funeral, so he pushed them out into the Montreal harbor. He fired a flaming arrow.
So you're reconfigured. Your interface, your implants were configured to go to the lunar receiving laboratory because that's what made sense. you now need to reprogram them. So the last thing I'm gonna ask you to do, the way these implants work, is that you can carry with you anything that you're holding. So that means that if you're hugging the dog or if you're hugging Jesus, we're going to be saying a lot of strange things on this mission. Then you can take them with you, and anything organic that's with them as well. Will you do one big human pile up and reconfigure only one of the implants? Or will you both try to reprogram your implants to the right coordinates in 1969?
Ooh.
You will jump. The question is when and where will you arrive? So if the two of you jump, the party could be split.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. All right. All of our eggs in one basket then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Group hug.
Jesse's like,
Group hug, I guess.
Yep.
Look, we don't want to split the party. It took us 3 hours to get through the opening scene.
So, Das, do you want to do the honor? Who's gonna program?
Jesse's
Here's
got
a
it.
hint. You need good lore.
Good lore. Oh, I have pretty good lore.
I've got 3 lore.
Okay, yeah, me too. So go for it, Jesse. And we're
Take corruption.
and
All right. So
based
I'll
on
get the little guy there. Go ahead.
and based on how this went, we're aiming for the warehouse section of a JC Penney. in 1969 as close as possible to Cape
Alright.
Canaveral.
All right. Oh my! You rolled a 3.
Ooh.
So to properly calculate a jump coordinate, you need to beat a +8. Now, Tass,
Shit.
you can totally help Cricket and give a +1 to the lore. So the two of you can be doing these calculations.
Sure.
You're from the future. And Benson, do you have lore? You do.
I do.
So because Dr. Loudon has a +3 in lore, she can have up to 3 people helping her out that have at least +1 in lore. So you could give a +2 that would give her each. You could each give a +1. That brings you to a 5.
Could I spend a
Now-
fate point for her to like calibrate? Well,
I mean, I haven't spent any yet. I can just spend one.
no, that's fair. Well, we'll need a couple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can totally invoke a few things.
I can also spend one of my fate points too, I think. If that makes sense.
So you can invoke. What would you like to invoke?
I could spend one with alien surgeon. Like I put the implant in
Yeah,
her and like
totally.
taught her how to use it.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
I'll take that. That's a 7.
Great. I'll spend a fate point.
All right. And what are you going to invoke?
Mm.
Oh, you got to invoke. Agree to disagree. Got it.
Yeah,
That's not how you do this.
yeah, yeah. Like this whole, I think that this whole time has been the perfect example of Monteau knowing what to do and me being like, I hate all of this, but fine. So yeah.
That's
Excellent.
so fair.
So you program the implant, and it locks in, and I think in your mind you can visualize right now a clear picture of where you're trying to get to emerges from your mind and when you're trying to get to. So you're confident you have now programmed the implant properly. Now here's the challenge: whenever you're wielding this alien technology, you mark corruption. So you mark a corruption, and we get a tick. And this is where this is important. Is it emphasizes that while these are very powerful technology, if you keep fiddling in it and trying to use it to do micro jump and a bunch of fancy stuff, you're going to rapidly get corrupted. Does that make sense for everyone?
Yeah.
So as a player, that's important to understand that part.
Yeah.
The other part is that once you've successfully or failed to use one of these things, you suffer backlash. So think of it in this case, the corruption is spreading in your body as you're doing this. So you need to resist the Ascellan, because you're awakening the Ascellan hive mind. You need to resist that consciousness from trying to take over your mind. So now you need to roll will to defend against the effort that you just exerted.
Okay.
And so that's just going to be for Jesse again.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So and I'm going to make sure that I'm not going to be making you roll more than you need to.
On roll 20, do I need to be adding my modifier in, or is it already built in?
So for your roll, will is going to add it up automatically.
Okay, then apologies. Okay. I added in a modifier because I wasn't sure about that. So
guess we got to re-roll it.
Yeah, I re-roll.
Yeah. So
There we go.
you had an effort. So you had an effort of +9. So now you roll will against this, and we'll see how much mental stress you suffer. And because we're doing this at the end, it's not going to be a big deal, okay? Because you're going to reset the amount of stuff. So let's see how that goes when you roll that. So you rolled a 2.
Yes.
So that's going to be 7 mental stress that you suffer. But that's not a big deal for you, again, because you've got 6 mental stress. So that would be a minor consequence. And what we're going to call this one is we're going to call this echoes from another mind. So I think as you connect and you reconfigure this, you hear a voice in your head and it says, 1969. Never been there before. And now you don't know where that voice came from. Nothing to worry about. And because we program your implant, you get to activate it, which is a separate action again. And so, well done, Dr. Monto. Very smart. And so, for this one, all it is a +4 that you need to activate the implant. You've programmed it. All you need to go is boom, and activate it. I'm not gonna make you mark corruption again twice in a row.
Cool. Thank you. Do I need to roll anything in particular for it?
All right. So you're rolling lore again.
Lore. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Roll good. Roll good. -2. So that's a 1 total that Jesse just rolled. So as you grab everyone, things starts fritzing, and you sense something is going wrong. You're trying to transport too much matter. Things usually everything condenses to a point, but you feel yourself being pulled in, pulled out, pulled in, pulled out, because the matter is unable to transfer. Like as you're concentrating your mind, you're like, this is not. You're stretching the limit of the implant by trying to take 4 people. You realize that this has been untested before. Usually, each traveler travel with their own implant. You can try to push this. What do you do? What do you do?
Ooh.
And I will offer a few things. There's a few
Okay.
folks here. I'm gonna look at your aspect. So Benson is a corrupted. It's very much a DNA that's corrupted. But Jesus, you have a corrupted hive mind inside you. This, despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. Reflects that your hive mind connected with animals instead of the main hive mind. So you glitch, but you could connect and you could be helping out potentially with this to help guide that effort. And for Dr. Monteau, with the alien skin graft and the doppelganger, you're able to connect to minds. So you could potentially justify as well how you're helping this out with your corrupted stunt. But you're going to be marking corruption if you actually you're going to be in marking a tick box if you invoke the corrupted aspect. Sorry.
I mean, it's worth it.
So
can we both help? Is that possible?
You can totally both help. You can
Okay.
suggest any other ways that you're doing so that don't involve marking the box.
I would assume I would need fate points for that, though.
So
You
you have
one.
no fate
Okay.
points. I thought you had
I
one
You have
left.
one.
One.
I used my last one, I think, in that first help with this. I used 2 very early on, and then 1 with helping you get past that 8.
I see.
Yeah.
You just didn't move it.
Oh, I didn't move it. Nope.
That's why we're all confused.
I don't remember about this.
Ah.
I don't remember. There, it's gone. No, it's not.
All right.
Yes, it is.
All right. So I will let you sell to me right now. We need to get to a 4 to get for everything to work out perfectly fine. We need 3 points. So we need 2 people to invoke a stunt. Um,
Can I invoke the bastard will not escape and use my like single-minded like focus on getting revenge on Sully Sullenberger?
On his location and his
Yeah.
time.
absolutely.
That's
Sure.
great.
We're
Maybe we-
we're gonna show up in a high school.
At his house, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that I could invoke tech savvy canine. Like I could, as this is happening, like try to piece a couple things together to like physically connect us so that it reads us as like one biomass.
I'll buy that totally. There we go. And
yeah.
well done. That is 2 non-corrupted stunts. So we're not marking anything, or 2 non-corrupted aspect, I should say. So
I had a
as
bunch of donuts in my pockets that I was trying to take with me, but I'll take those out so we're not moving as much mass through time.
Nice.
so God. But I said only organic matter. I'm not sure Timbits are fully organic matter.
It was
Oh, sorry. 1999, they still were, yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, Cricket, you can feel this and you're like, something is wrong, something is wrong. And then as they start fiddling and K9 with his paws is going in the tendril extending from the dew claw, coming in and connecting with your implant. And Jesus so is shouting at you about shouting the name of the high school where you need to go. Focus, damn it, we need to get there. And then finally something, and you see yourself all being stretched, and finally we see everything condensing in one point of light, and you disappear. What's the name of the high school where your arch nemesis is?
Denison High School. This is actually the high school that Sully Sullenberger.
You appear in the locker room of Denison High School.
Yeah.
A bunch of clothes are hanging there. It's the 60s, baby. Welcome to 1969.
Woo!
And we'll stop it. We'll stop it there for tonight.
Yeah.
All
Nice.
right.
Oh my god.
Oh
So-
my.
Oh, is Benson sore?
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, listen. This was a chance for us to be able to dig into the mechanics, for you to get comfortable with your skills, your stunts, see a little bit as far as what it's like to fight the Ascellan, so you've got an idea of some of their abilities, and ensure you understand the stretch of the corruption. You're doing fine so far, just so we're clear. No one has another corrupted aspect yet. Once those corruption clocks fill up completely, you're going to corrupt a second aspect, and new abilities are going to start manifesting. So you're going to want to think about that. The other piece I'm going to leave for you and the audience, as we reach the end of a session, we take a look at our timeline. So you have 1 negative timeline ripple right now, and you have 3 positive checkboxes. So you've almost at the point where you're going to cause a positive timeline ripple in your adventures. So we're doing fine. I'm not going to apply anything to 1999. I'm going to carry this all into the single mission. I think it's going to make it more interesting for us. And you're going to have to think about what you're going to do once you get to the moon. The other piece is that we have now reached, at the end of a session, a minor milestone. I'm going to send you the details, and I'm going to show them here on Roll20, but I'll send you the details again in the chat after the session. But what that means, this is a chance for you to do a quick tweak to your character. You can switch the ranks of any 2 skills you have, okay, so that you may choose you want to put different emphasis on different skills of your character for the next one. Or you can rewrite a stunt, or you could purchase a new stunt by spending 1 refresh. Okay. And you could even rewrite one of your uncorrupted aspect if you would like to. So these are the 4 main actions you can do. You get to pick one of them. We can clarify this all offline after, but some food for thought as you get ready to get into your next session. Finally, if you have any stress marked on your character sheet, you clear all that stress as we get ready to start a new scene and a new session. As well, if you have any mild consequences, you get to clear those consequences before we start the next session. Sounds good?
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
right.
Well, remind us where we can find you.
Absolutely. So I'm Pascal, he, him. You can find me at spotlessdice.game or spotlessdice on any social media. Also PG-YYZ on Blue Sky.
Abdul, remind us where we can find Sully Sullenberger.
Sully Sullenberger was born in Texas. I was looking him up. He actually was a genius level intellect as a child. He was like a member of Mensa at age 11.
You've
So
got your work cut out for you.
Really hard to kill this high school kid. And if you like the kind of like jokey RPG stuff that I do, check out Spelt Lore or Mall Brands.
Jesse.
You guys can find me on the Crit Show Discord, as well as co-host of Kick Some Ass and Fuel for Thought.
Woo. Tass.
I'm Tass of the Crit Show, and we're whalers on the moon. We carry a harpoon, but there ain't no whales, so we tell tall tales, and we sing a whaling tune.
Yeah. And I'm Rev. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. If you have not, if you're coming in late, you can find this episode tomorrow over on our YouTube channel. We're actually almost at a milestone on our YouTube channel. If you don't follow us already, make sure to do that. We're almost at the point of being partner, which I didn't even know we were close to approaching. So it was a happy accident. And that's where you can find all of the stuff that we have done on Twitch of long game sessions, as well as a couple of completed video game playthroughs that we've done. And the content from the Gen Con live show last year, which I'm super excited. This Saturday, we're going to film round 2 of Game Master for Gen Con. So,
Woo.
Yeah, until next Monday, have a good one.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.